Last Thursday, coffee shop on my corner, guy in front of me, I've met him, I swear, 3 times, maybe 4. I remember his dog's name is Pickles. I remember he hates his 9 to 5, surfs on Tuesdays. His mom lives in Pune. He turns around, smiles. Hey, you! Remember me? And my brain just goes white. Not fuzzy. White. Clean. Like someone hit delete on one single word. And now I have about 12 seconds of pure improv theater ahead of me. You know that flush? Chest up to ears? Throat tight? It's not just embarrassment. Psychologists actually call this anticipatory shame plus scanner mode. Your nervous system isn't being rude. It's scanning. Checking if you offended, if they're mad, what to say next, while trying not to drown. If that's you, it's not a memory problem. It's a preoccupation problem. Here's what's actually happening. When you meet someone, your working memory, that little holding space in your prefrontal cortex, is juggling like 6 things at once. Their face, their tone, where you know them from, whether they like you, whether you like them, what you're supposed to say next so you don't sound awkward. And right into that chaos, someone hands you a single arbitrary sound. Hi, I'm Kevin. Kevin? Kevin doesn't mean anything. It doesn't connect to flour or bread or warmth. It just floats there, rootless. Your brain, efficient machine that it is, keeps what means something and drops what doesn't. Think about a funeral you went to. You remember the smell of the flowers, who cried, the silence. You don't remember what was printed on the order of service. Names are the order of service. Everything else is the funeral. Your brain chose texture over label, on purpose. Where did it learn to do that? 2 places, usually. 1, you were probably the kid who remembered stories, not facts. You could tell me what your friend wore on day 1 of 6th grade, but not what you had for lunch yesterday. That's highly associative thinking. Your memory is richly contextual. It stores impressions, emotions, patterns, not filing cabinet labels. That's not a flaw. That's literally how storytellers and emotionally attuned people remember. 2, and this is the uncomfortable one, you might be narrating yourself in real time. While they're saying, I'm Kevin, your inner voice is going, eye contact okay? Handshake too firm? Did I interrupt? There's a phenomenon documented back in 1973 by psychologist Malcolm Brenner, the next in line effect. People waiting to speak in a group couldn't remember what the person before them said, because in their head they'd already moved on, rehearsing. If you live with social anxiety or just hyper self-awareness, you're stuck in that mode permanently. Never quite here. Always half a step into what comes next. So the name enters, and your inner monologue bulldozes right over it. And this isn't just theory. In 1987, 2 researchers, McWeeny and Ellis, did something beautifully simple. They showed people a photo of a man. They told one group, this man is a baker by profession. They told the other group, this man's surname is Baker. Same word, Baker. Days later, the people who learned it as a job remembered it twice as easily as people who learned it as a name. Why? Baker the job activates a whole web. Flour on hands, early mornings, warm bread. Baker the name activates nothing. They called it the Baker-Baker paradox, and it explains almost every name-forgetting moment of your life. Names, by their nature, are semantically empty, and your brain prefers things that mean something. So here's how this actually saved you. This architecture, prioritizing texture over label, makes you exceptionally good at making people feel felt. You might forget Kevin, but you remember that Kevin's voice went flat when he said, my boss. You remember he lit up talking about pickles. Ask you what someone wore at a party 3 years ago? You might know. Ask you the name of the person next to them? Blank. Because your system cataloged the human, not the tag. That's rare, especially now. That's why people feel safe telling you things they don't tell others. Where it drains you is the other side. Being forgotten or forgetting lands like a small message. You didn't matter enough to stick. Even when it's wrong. The brain hears that as social threat. so you carry this quiet guilt. I'm a bad friend, I'm aloof, I'm getting early dementia. You're not. You're just a story keeper in a label world. So let's give your brain what it refuses to do automatically. A bridge. I call it the anchor method. 60 seconds. You can use it tonight. No repeating like a robot. Next time you meet someone, do 3 things. 1, repeat plus touch. The second they say their name, say it back once while you lightly touch your own wrist or thumb. Kevin, nice to meet you. That touch is a somatic marker. Your skin remembers what your auditory cortex drops. 2, relate. Don't try to remember Kevin. Link him to what you will remember. Kevin equals Pickles the dog owner. Kevin equals Tuesday surfer. Your brain already has a file for Pickles. Put Kevin in that file. 3, story bridge. 7 seconds. In your head, make a tiny, ridiculous movie. Kevin walking Pickles on a surfboard. Stupid, vivid, you won't forget it. Your brain hates boring facts, loves weird stories. That's it. Touch, relate, movie. You're not forcing memory. You're feeding your brain the way it actually likes to eat, through association and image, not repetition. Try it once. Not to be perfect, just to prove you can build the bridge when you want to. Look, the name was always the least interesting thing about a person. What you remember about people? The texture, the way they laugh when they're nervous, the way they talk about their dog, that part was there the whole time. You're not dismissive. You're not careless. Your system just prioritizes differently. And in a world obsessed with labels, someone who remembers the human, we need more of you. So I'm curious, where do you feel that blank moment? Is it chest, throat, belly? Drop one word below. Let's actually map where our nervous systems hold it. And tell me one random thing you always remember about people, even when you forget their name. I read everyone. If this explained something you've carried guilt about for years, you'll probably feel this next one deep too. Why you replay conversations at 2 a.m. It's on screen. I'll see you there.